Sian, welcome.
Hello, darling.
We haven't seen you for, oh my goodness, years, and things have changed. A lot has changed with you. What's happening?
Do you think?
I think.
Do you think?
I hardly recognised you as the first thing.
Yeah, 52 kgs lighter.
Oh my goodness, that's like an entire person. And actually it's interesting because like it's kind of culturally uncool to say to a person, oh my God, you've lost heaps. So I was kind of thinking, how will I ask her this? But let's just say it, you've lost a lot of weight.
I have. It's very interesting actually, it's been a very interesting journey. The short version is I had a kind of crisis of health, and between type 2 diabetes and my cholesterols, the consultants wanted me to walk around with a defibrillator in my handbag because my results were of a level that they were like,
my goodness,
you're going to have a heart attack. So, long story short, they suggested that I had bariatric surgery. Now, my BMI was nowhere near the levels that you would usually consider somebody in the measurement of obesity.
Yeah. So, and what's the surgery?
I've actually had a full gastric bypass.
Wow.
So they've replumbed the inside, my pancreas and various other things. I should be able to sit here and give you the details, but to be honest, it was like, I don't want to know, just do it. So I ended up having it. And one of the things that I wanted to share with you today, because obviously we've known each other a long time, and one of the things that I think both of us dedicate quite a lot of our time to is inspiring and supporting people in creating change.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's all very well me going out there and doing it for other people, but I wanted to share this with you as an example of having to walk the walk ourselves sometimes. Yeah. That it was a very hard decision. For a lot of reasons, not necessarily in the order of importance, but I thought of myself as an ardent feminist.
Yeah.
And suddenly I was going under the knife and knowing that I was going to look very different. And I found that incredibly challenging.
Yeah, so you're being kind of encouraged or kind of cajoled into...
Well, you know, this is an option, Sian. It may well save your life. You know, there is a 75% chance it will reverse diabetes. What was the most alarming part of it was that nobody could tell me medically why. They didn't know why it happens.
Right.
But it was the psychological journey for me that was much harder. It wasn't making a decision to let somebody get the knife out. It was much more about my view of myself.
Yeah, who will I be?
Absolutely.
Who
am I going to be if I'm... So again, you know, you've got fat shaming, but what I've learned in the last 18 months there's also thin shaming. Who knew that was a thing?
Everything's a thing.
But it clearly is.
Yeah.
And exactly as you said, you know, when you first see me, it's that response of...
Oh my goodness.
It really is quite a phenomenal shock.
Yeah.
The experience I've had is that people tend to fall into categories. There's real shock and it's like fireworks of, I don't know, support. Yeah. You look fabulous.
Yeah.
Good on you. Yeah. Then there's the middle group who... As it irks me to say it, it is true, and I think sadly predominantly females, you can see an element of the green-eyed monster of...
What a bitch. How did you do
What's happened to your lovely motherly breasts, Sian, and your curviness, and your hug doesn't seem the same as it did before. Really?
Oh, that's not true. You hug great.
And then there's the last group, which actually are the most traumatic, are the ones that look at me and they immediately go from 0 to 15, and they think that I've got some serious illness, and that's why I've lost. And you know, but I mean, several people have literally just come up to me and burst into tears as if, you know,
are you all right?
I'm 3 steps away from the crematorium, which I'm glad to say I'm not. I'm much healthier.
You're further away from the crematorium.
But it's
now.
no different for you, is it? I mean, again, you had a career. You had a very successful career in public speaking, in coaching. And you took on this as a change and a challenge. Yeah. And it changes us, doesn't it? And I suppose that's what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to say, be brave out there, people, and grab an opportunity and make it happen. And that's what's happened to me. It's created so many opportunities and the way I see myself. That's the other thing that's
it's
changed.
Interesting that you liken it to any kind of change, like a career change or you know, motherhood or being made redundant. You know, all of those things are changes and they all affect how you see yourself.
And I think what I've learned from this, Cath, and again, I honestly hadn't really looked at things in this perspective. We're all frightened of change, right?
Human beings.
You know, in the world we live in today, there's a lot of it, so get your head around it.
Yeah.
But I think the point is that it's the amount of control you can have and being realistic about the amount of control that you can't have. That actually it's about how other people perceive you and see you. And I've got no control over that. All I can do is learn to live inside this new body. Which again, I'm sure on the outside looks
great.
Nice. Right, we look nice. But again, I've got to be honest, I take all this off. You know, there's a hell of a lot of skin under here, and I do look a bit like a scrumpled up elephant's arse underneath my clothes. But, but it's true, you know.
I absolutely love your frankness.
Well, you get one sense of, isn't this the nirvana? You know, you want to be this size, you want to be lovely. But let me tell you, there's a yin and a yang to everything. Right? And when I go into it, people say to me, "No, this must be fabulous. You can buy clothes." Well, I can, right? But I go into changing rooms and I've got, you know, a number that I'd like, I can't believe I'm even trying a dress on that's this size. But I honestly don't put them on and it's all fireworks of self-confidence.
No. What have you lost?
Whoa, now we go deep and meaningful. Look, the truth is I lost a barrier, didn't I? You know, when you are overweight, you do, well, I do, I used it as a barrier and a safety mechanism. I also think I created a brand around that motherly, large-breasted, come here and I'll hug you kind of woman. Which is part of who I am, don't forget. Like, just because I don't have them now doesn't mean I don't feel like that. But yeah, I think that I've lost a brand and a sense of self, and that is the absolute truth, that this journey of having bariatric surgery is much more psychologically significant. Getting the knife out is the easy bit. I mean, I teased the surgeon that had did my surgery, Michael Booth, you know, and I said to him, you know, at the end of the day, Michael, your expertise and all the rest of it, you've been doing this for 20 years and you're New Zealand's leading surgeon, but I'm asleep for 48 minutes while you're doing my surgery. It's the people I'm around when I'm awake, and it is the psychological support and the dietitians and the clinical nurse specialists, because this is actually a journey about changing your identity.
And when you looked in the mirror for the first time, how did you feel?
If I'm honest, it's still quite shocking. I think that I don't regret doing this. I think it's given me life energy, it's given me opportunities. But the journey is about reassessing who I am through other people's eyes, as much as my own.
Okay.
Interesting change.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for really total honesty about what it is for people to change. Thanks for being with us today.
Absolute pleasure, darling. Thank you for inviting me.